Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with my unboxing and range review of the Kel-Tec P15. This is a subcompact slash micro compact pistol made by Kel-Tec. Now, of course, you guys know Kel-Tec is a famous company for making guns that are different, they're unique. They kind of think outside the box. They don't do things the same way that kind of all the other manufacturers do, which is really pretty cool. And a lot of their guns are known for being kind of, you know, really budget friendly. And this gun is no exception. So let's look at it. First of all, the box tells you that this is could give you cancer or reproductive harm. I did not go to the warnings at california.gov to figure that out, but I just think it's hilarious that I may not have another baby due to this Kel-Tec pistol. So that is what it's worth. Okay, so we open it up. We get our manual. I'm going to talk about that in here in a minute. You get your gun. You get, with that, it comes with one 15-round magazine. Let's go ahead and make sure that's clear. And you get one 12-round magazine. You get a different back strap. Then you get a lock, which that is not like with most of the guns that I like for gun locks, but it does say Kel-Tec on it, so it's already on the wall. And yeah, that's what you get, a little piece of paper. So let's first of all look at the manual. This is one thing I really like about this gun is this manual is 26 pages. The table of contents is really good. It gives you the information that you need. It gives you really beautiful color photos, really easy to pick up on anything, all the specs that you're going to need. Really, they didn't overdo the manual and they didn't underdo the manual. Good job. This is one of those things that I look at and I say to people, hey, are you a first-time gun owner and you're thinking about buying a gun? The manual is important, and that's kind of a big deal. So Kel-Tec, you really did a good job on that one. So we'll put that off to the side. I love the fact that it gives you 2 magazines. It comes in a nice hard case, and the hard case does have a lock on it so you can go ahead and keep your guns safe. So Kel-Tec, good job. Way to go, get started. So then we look at the gun. This is gonna be, let's go over the specs of this. So unloaded, it's 14.1 ounces, so it's not too terribly heavy. Its overall length is 6.6 inches. The barrel length is gonna be 4 inches. The height is gonna be 5 inches, and the width is gonna be 1 inches, which makes it that kind of, you know, when you feel it in your hand, it kind of feels like maybe a Springfield Hellcat, a Sig 365, you know, it's going to be kind of that size on the frame. Pretty long on the slide, but when you're really thinking about conceal and carry, the slide is not what you're worried about concealing, it is the grip. So I think they did a good job. And with the 15-round magazine, you know, you can fit that pinky on there real well. I don't have huge hands, but I don't have small hands. Feels good. Or if you wanted to get more concealment, you can go with the 12-rounder, and boom, there you go. That's going to be really easy to conceal. So when you look at the gun, it is not optic ready, and they don't have an optic ready option right now. There's in the talks that they're thinking about making this plastic piece here on the rear something that you can remove and then maybe add an optic to it in the future. For me, I kind of look at it and go, if you don't have it right now, you don't have it. So that is what it is. You do have rear adjustable sights. You can adjust for windage and for elevation. It does come with tritium night sights, and the front sight is this big, beautiful tritium front sight, but it's also a fiber optic front sight. You've got front slide serrations, you got rear slide serrations, and I'll tell you that it really, you know, the front ones maybe aren't the best. They work. They'll get you everything that you need to. It's not super grippy. The rear ones, I really feel like everything I need to do to manipulate the gun is right there. It will open up. It will stay open on a last round hold open, and you can drop the slide even when there isn't a round in there. You have a loaded chamber indicator, which I really do like. You know, sometimes you can just get the ones that you can see, but I do like the ones that you can feel over. So like in the night, you know, if you hear something go boom in the night, you can feel that to see if your gun is ready to go. So I do like a lot of those things. You do have a single mount here for a light if you wanted to add one on there. I do like the fact that the grips are, they're not over the top grippy, but there's definitely, if you've got this in your hand, it is not going to want to jump out of your hand. So I do like that. That's very nice. If you look back here, there is a grip safety, and this gun is enabled with a magazine disconnect safety out of the box. Now you'll say, well, I'm not seeing the grip safety on here. One of the cool things that Kel-Tec did is they made it so you can disengage one or both of those safeties, which I really do like, because magazine disconnect safeties and grip safeties are kind of those things that are really, you know, people are really, they have definite opinions on it. Let's put it that way. They have definite opinions on those two particular things. And so I like the fact that they let the owner kind of choose what they want. So that's definitely a cool thing for sure. So to disassemble this pistol, you go ahead and you make sure it's empty, which it is. You dry fire it in a safe direction, and then you just line up the slide stop, slide release with this hole in the gun. Then you take from the other side and just push out the slide stop, slide release, which of course I did it one time really easy, and now it's not going to want to do it nice and easy for me. So let's get that all lined up for us. And now of course it's not going to want to do it. So let's go ahead and get her peasy, easy peasy, easy peasy, easy peasy, easy peasy. Sorry about that. You just have to get it just right, and then the slide stop, slide release will come off, and then the slide will come off the gun. You do have a nice captive recoil spring, which I do think is a nice touch there. And then you have a barrel. Nice feed ramp. The rifling's good. The construction's really nice. But I do that because I want to show you right here, there is a little notch here, and this is where you adjust your gun for disconnecting the magazine disconnect safety and the grip safety. So if the grip is at the very top, which is how it will come with both the safeties engaged, if you want to disconnect both of those, you just rotate those over 2 spots. This is another thing where the manual does a really good job of explaining exactly how to do it. Always turn it clockwise. The first one, when it's probably at that 5 o'clock, is going to be the grip safety and the magazine disconnect safety off. And position 3, which is one more, that third click, that will have the grip safety disconnect. Sorry, only the grip disconnected is the third step, where that's probably at about 7 o'clock. So I love the fact that they're thinking outside of the box, kind of doing things differently than what people, what manufacturers have always done. So, they want to offer those extra safety features that maybe, I don't want, but you can disengage those if you don't want them, and you can make the gun kind of how you want to. So assembly is just like kind of any other pistol in this way. You just go ahead, put it in, do a safety check, and then you're ready to go. So when you initially get this gun out of the box and you kind of rack it and do some dry firing, the gun's trigger it's not good. I'll just be honest with you. It's got a lot of creep in the trigger. It's kind of grimy when you get it. It's just, you say to yourself, man, this is just not a very good trigger. I bought this gun for $360. That's what it took me to get it take home. And I'm getting a $360 gun. Like I'm getting a $360 trigger. And, it's not awesome. And the problem with that is sometimes when you're doing those dry fire drills, when you're testing something out in the store, sometimes it just doesn't feel good, but you got to give it that chance to go to the range. And I took it to the range, and while the trigger didn't feel good, doing dry fire, when I actually held that gun and I pointed it and I pulled the trigger, the bullets went where I wanted them to go. The trigger is not it's not going to prevent you from being able to do what you want to with your firearm. If you're a new shooter, may it take a little bit longer for you to get up to speed on your trigger? Is it going to take you a little bit of extra training? Maybe. But it's not something that, it's so bad that you just cannot get your sights and your trigger pull on target to get the bullets where you want them to go to. So if you're looking at it and you're saying to yourself, well, this $1,100 gun's trigger feels better. Well, yeah, it's going to feel better. But this one, you take it to the range, definitely think about going to a range that's got this one for something you can rent and try it out, because I had no problems getting where I wanted it to go to with it. And I'll bring out the target here. That's a pretty tight group. It was a little bit, it was a little bit like this. It was a little bit high and to the left today. I still had some on the target at 10 yards. But again, I'm holding a real good group. I've only put 250 rounds through it. It's going to give you the accuracy that you need to get where you want to go to with it. Other things that I kind of felt with this gun, they really cut down that weight. 14.1 ounces is light, and 9mm is no joke of a round. And so when I was shooting this really light pistol, I found it really wanted to climb. It really wanted to get out of my hand, and I just really had to focus on it. I really had to think about it to get, onto target and do what I wanted to do with it. So, really, if you are not if you don't go to the range a ton, if you're not really used to that recoil impulse, this gun, you're going to feel it. You're going to know about it. If you are somebody that goes to the range a lot, if you really enjoy shooting, it's just going to be something that it's going to be like, oh, okay, I've got to think about how I'm holding this gun. I've got to think about, my grip and do that. It's going to be that maybe a little bit more than maybe a slightly bigger gun. But, if you're really trying to get that weight really down to make concealed carry a lot more convenient for you, you're going to experience more felt recoil with a gun. So I don't think that any of these things are killers. Again, once I took that grip safety and magazine disconnect safety off, the trigger was acceptable. I could get it to do what I wanted it to do. The reset was long, but it's not like I couldn't get back to it and get where I wanted to go to with it. So I think Kel-Tec did a good job on it. And for the price point, $330 was the price tag on the gun when I picked it up at a local store, making it $360 take home. You're getting you're getting some mag capacity, and you're getting some real nice features, and you're going to get to do some different things that maybe not every other gun is going to have. So if those things are the things that you're interested in, keep an eye on Kel-Tec. I will tell you that they do make a metal version of the frame, which probably would have alleviated my big concern with this gun, and I love the fact that they put wood grips on it. I think it's stylish, is just a little bit nicer. The problem was that that gun was $600. It's cooler. It does definitely look cooler. Is it $300 cooler? Obviously, I decided to go with the polymer frame option. So, but if that's really what you want, I think you'd really enjoy that as well. So Kel-Tec, you did a good job. You made a good gun here that functions. I had no reliability issues with it, and it's pretty cool looking too. I wish a lot of people have already remarked, why are you putting screws on the outside of your gun? I get it. It's not cosmetically as pretty when you have those big screws on the gun, but it functioned. It did what it was supposed to do. So if you like this content, if you want to see me do more of this content, really hit that like, that share, put a comment. Helps out the algorithm, helps me with my monetization. I'm a public school teacher. I don't get a lot of time, I don't get a lot of funds to do this. So all those things really help. I do want to thank you again for supporting the channel. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.
I learned a lesson. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.